okayfm 101.7.
Honorable Inusah Fuseini, Emranimuni, former MP for Tamale Central. Na our parliament no so no oboa parliament pa chairman legal and then constitutional committee of parliament no wada no da papa aye minister for roads na we ni de keka ho bebre waboa Ghana wasom Ghana wo free parliament dey nkrofo ya ba wo se there be applause ni loud na esoko na ye ni nkomo lawyer teacher Inusah Fuseini me moache
I'm just so happy to say.
Bogo teacher Inusah. What is that? Oba Tamale ni important mo edi obia grofodi ni mu pa no.
Nah, never any day.
Never any day. Once a teacher, always a teacher.
Yes, once a teacher, always a teacher.
And I'm saying you made an impact pa.
okayfm.
Oh, what is about 7 people? You are not serving it because of yourself. You are serving it because you believe inherently say you can make an impact. And if you can't make an impact, if people cannot see that, well, their lives are changed by your leadership, then you better advise yourself.
Okay. Papa na mama unchen ya. Enra reshuffle ya ekoye binom friend minority tsunami in parliament. Ebi amane din bebre. De ekoye se yayi onimnyamfo Haruna Idrisu afri ho na yede Kezel doctor atufo senaba na yayi Muntaka afri ho na yede Agboja abano wote ye no. How did you receive it?
Well, first of all, Eban said, "Yanti de yanya inkling." Say, as I didn't say, when it happened, I was surprised because manti say Sadi and Babaso, and so I was surprised. But me respect the decision now.
Why?
Because it's a lawful decision of the party. It is the party that can make that decision. And you have to respect the decision of the party. And I'm not sure they made the decision lightly. I'm sure they considered all the dynamics. They look at all the members of parliament. They look at the best.
Is it a case, sir? They have outlived their importance as minority leaders and now BBS. Oh,
you see, not that they have outlived their importance. Many who can say it's left.
Where are Kwame Nkrumah?
Kwame Tikase. Oh, sorry. So, both of you are my friends. So you see,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The fact is that the fact is that the Akaye 23 months to election. Mm-hmm. What is the interest of the party? What is the purpose of the NDC? So, say Akaya 23 months to election. Don't you think that strategically we need to position people in positions to advance that interest? Strategically. So, nyese omo anye ejuma, nyese omo outlive omo usefulness. It's just that you can liken it to transfers or reshuffle in executive positions. You move the chiefs so that you can inject freshness, dynamism, purpose into Adedia Wuye. And so it is not that they are fouled. I mean, I will be the first to admit that but our ultimate as a party is to win election 2024. And to do that, we must make strategic decisions. And one such strategic decision is to reposition Parliament. Because, like I say, the fact is, Parliament will be one of the battlegrounds for the hearts and minds of the people of Ghana. And so, because of that, you will need people who will be able to champion it in such a way as to win the sympathy from Ghanaians. So, the economy will be a key feature, and the economy has always been a key feature of any a campaign anywhere in this world. Who is the better person to lead the charge on government than somebody who served in the Ministry of Finance and helped manage the economy of Ghana before, in the period of the NDC, and who in Parliament is the ranking member on the Committee of Finance? I mean, one could say, yeah, Adongo is doing very well, but the added experience that Kesal Atoforson has, which is having served in government and managed the economy, gives him an advantage. And that is what informed the choice. 2, energy and energy infrastructure, and whether we are on a sound trajectory going into the future. Because energy is everything. Now, Bua, when he came to Parliament and went into the executive, he spent his whole life in the executive as the Minister of Energy. I was there with him as Deputy Minister of Energy. I moved on to Lands and Natural Resources. He was made the substantive Minister of Energy, and he stayed there until we left office. He understands the energy sector very, very well. And if we are going to lead a charge in Parliament on energy, who is the better person, who is better positioned to lead that charge? Governors Abuja never joined the executive. But when NDC was in power, he was a deputy chairman on roads and transport. When NDC lost power, he's held on to the position of ranking member on roads and transport until his elevation to the minority chief whip position. Infrastructure will be one key debate in Parliament and outside Parliament going into election 2024. What do you think, in your view, will best be positioned to lead the charge? So this is strategic. It's a strategic decision that the party has taken to put its best foot forward and convince Ghanaians that we are ready for election 2024.
Na amanfo baako a wɔn kan sɛ ɛwɔ constitutional breaches bi ɛna afɛm constitution no koraa no mo wɔ extended leadership na wɔn nyinaa na ɛsɛ wɔn bɔ wɔn amaneɛ, of which ni honorable ni Lamte Van der Pol mo nyinaa yɛ members of the extended leadership in Parliament, but wɔn nyinaa yɛ mo wɔn amaneɛ.
Oh, that one is unfortunate. It's unfortunate because party no almost taking a decision no. They needed to have communicated that decision to members of Parliament, to have the buy-in of members of Parliament. There are more and yes, sir. And if what the members of Parliament are saying is true, then it was a very big oversight. They ought to have engaged the members of Parliament for their buy-in.
Could not be said a common bomb mania, a bianca they will subject it to Adiama, I didn't quite be an intimacy.
Someone can say, well, I know, yes.
Let me say, a bisana common bomb mania. A friend, a woman better say there be young penny near the identity. You take this decision now and one.
Oh, the experience I have in Parliament, HSA. Anytime the party came to a decision on the leadership of Parliament, Omumba Baba country said, the party has decided, and this is the decision. Yes, some people might raise questions, especially in 2017. Omuba Eba Tanchire said, Omwa take a decision to make Haruna Idrisu, Abeji, Adi, Muntaka, and Ahmed and Doyu as leadership. Yerezi Mi Kasaye, Agalga Kasaye, Dominic Ayini Kasaye. But that didn't change the decision. That didn't change the decision. And see, that is why I'm saying that they needed to have engaged them because a buy-in and explain to them because this as members of the party, I did here and say to be able to put ourselves in a position to wrestle power from the MPP, and it is in our ultimate interest to do so. And the Omunyina Parliament, that is what they are working towards. And if the party thinks that when nobody name to be able to do that, I think that we need to respect that decision. But it's unfortunate that they were not.
Parliament there, winning one some power processes, send the city pa say majority and now minority per se, we change your leadership now. And now when you leadership now, send the city.
Oh, they are in fact. One party their leadership.
Yes, both minority and majority.
Party no ankasa no ebet nase. That is my experience in Parliament. On no nase. I hear the members of Parliament on the NDC side as constituted. No more the individual strengths and weaknesses. Or more a SWOT analysis of all the members of Parliament, and then no more determine say this is the person who, if we put him in the leadership position, he can champion the cause, he can hold the fort.
Okay,
I'll give you one clear example. Speaker Bachman wasn't in Rawlings' administration as a minister. He only held the position of chairman of the Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs Committee of Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
He called into opposition in 2001. After now, hold discussions at the highest level and came to the conclusion that Bachman was the person who could hold the fort and champion the cause. 9 ministers were Parliament. 4 ministers were Parliament. They didn't give it to 4 ministers. So, partner, the HUC, but they come to inform Parliament that partner are deciding on these people as your leaders. And so, yeah, the Omu Abachemo. Yeah, people who raise issues. Other than one country here. Other than one consult here. They raise the issue. But the party has the ultimate right to determine the leadership. Mind you, that leadership position in Parliament is a party position. That is why the minority leader look at the sitting arrangements when NDC is holding any function. The minority leader sits close to the chairman, and where the former president is there, the minority leader sits immediately after the former president, because it's a party position.
Say no, a better na calm or restore. It's answer as myself the phone do a surprise. And now a binum so bon so constituency Muntaka constituency or my sorry, and Haruna Idrisu also constituency or my sorry. A better no more restore calm.
Oh, into the Omoya leaders. The office of minority leader is not attached to any person. It's not attached to any person. Just like the office of minister in an executive is not attached to any person. At any particular time that the appointing authority and will say somebody else will be able to do the job and that you need to move, you have to respect that decision. And so we must communicate. We must communicate that to our followers to understand, say, what has been done is for the ultimate interest of the party. I've always said that as a party and as members of parliament, we must subsume your interest, your individual interest, your private interest to the collective interest of the party. That is the only way that we can keep the party together in our forward march towards victory 2024.
OKFM.
I mean, it could be, for instance, in there, Muntaka, among constituency, almost say, I mean, but I heard that they were also massing up. Several staff, I've heard the chairman speak. Can you imagine what will happen if Central Region, they also mass up and say that any attempt to remove Atoforsen will be disaster? Or at the Western Region, or mass up and say any attempt to remove will not be countenanced. Can you imagine what will happen? That is why we need to understand that when the party makes a decision, we have to respect that decision and work with it. I have also said that the members of parliament need not be divided on this matter, because loyalty is not to the individual. Loyalty while serving in parliament is to the party. So there should not be a case where people will profess loyalty to the outgoing leaders. Minuka say, there's a former leader who is sitting not at the leadership position. Cletus Avoka, he was the majority leader and in the NDC. Rashid Pelpo, he was a whip to go Ajahu. He was a whip during the time of Atamem. He was a whip. But he complained.
Debbie.
So that is how it's like merry-go-round. It goes round. The only qualification that entitles a person to be made a leader of the party in parliament is to be a member of parliament. So all of them are equally circumstanced. We should take it upon ourselves to educate our members that it is in the overriding interest of the party to support these leaders to prosecute the agenda of the party and bring us power in 2024.
I see. One year, you better say, Pania Senyampa Eddie Amount. Now, when it is National Cathedral, no so revelations, na Okujato Eddie Abano. Ebinum say Nyaman bi okra it's not in relation to the National Cathedral. Say Reverend Kusi Boateng or two identities. What the Kwabena Edujamfi and I was sad way in the date of birth yemienu and the 10 number no crano ne maame biological mothers no way you different into benya sofo ne maame no miraculously ne maame no biological mothers yemienu when we be kase say kan ye National Cathedral ho nsem na ehia o
ehia
why
it's not about National Cathedral. It's about compromising the laws of the country.
Oh, okay.
Reverend Kusi is a Ghanaian. He's a leader. He's a man of God. The least he can do is to uphold the laws of this country. 10 is an identification number. It's like a pin. It's personal to the individual. And you can have only one PIN number for transaction. Only one PIN number. And so, with that, even unconnected with the National Cathedral,
Obi betimi a prosecuting one.
It goes to integrity, the integrity and character of that person.
Okay. OKFM 101.7.
Now when you betimi a prosecute obi ohun.
Oh yeah, it's a betimi. If it is for a criminal intent, criminal purpose. Oh yeah, no, they know the yeah. Was it intended to evade tax? Was it intended to evade surveillance? What was it? Why did he do that? What was the intention? Because actions must be backed by intention. What was the intention? What did he do? Why did he think that he should do that?
I see. Now, my law, mommy, I discuss kakra. Per the revelations, I tete you know. One more register National Cathedral no. Nipa bi ena eduom din register. Na sa ade ne your mind dia. Ne ye register. Enu nipa bi betim duom din aye registration.
Say a company never manager. It is important that nipa bi ejina I register that company for the cathedral. And they were directed of the cathedral project. That directed Omunomba China I register the cathedral. So it is not out of place. Say nipa din on the registration documents. If the cathedral is to be given a legal personality, those who will be directors at the time being will fill forms to show that Omuma Cathedral or the cathedral project a legal personality. So it is not out of place.
Yeah. And then we own it as a country.
Yes. I mean, I remember when I was one of the members of the board of directors of the National Investment Bank. He signed for the incorporation of a company for the military who wanted to do something and wanted the assistance of the bank. So yes,
I see.
I mean, and since I left there, the new directors who will take over will go to the Registrar General's office and change the directors of the company. That's all.
Oh, okay. Papa, you better say na ya mo any adwuma so.
And that's it.
Bye bye. Okay, 101.7 Honorable Inusah Fuseini, former MP for Tamale Central, and I no atwe okay 101.7
OKFM 101.7.